All right. First and foremost, I want to start off giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Wakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Middlestone who taught and understand truth to the Lord's name. Peace and safety to your brothers that they're pushing this truth. All right, so as you see, it says 30 Christians beheaded by ISIS in Mazabid. Well, I played a little bit of the clip, but I'm gonna pull a precept that came to mind. All right.
Joins me now, Billy. How are you processing this?
It is hard to process the fact that you, in 2025, have people around the world who are terrorists who are beheading Christians. It is the most horrific thing imaginable. And we've seen this again and again and again. And I think for me, the thing I'm processing is this reality that in America we live with such freedom, right? We have our debates, we have our issues over the First Amendment, we have our fights, we have our political infighting and our battles. But the freedom that we live with, I think, isolates us from the reality and the understanding that most people around the world are living in utter horror. And most people around the world, most Christians, are living in places where persecution is so dire that you can get beheaded simply for loving Jesus. And so that is convicting to me. It always sort of brings me back to, do I understand the freedom that I have? Do I understand the ability to worship that I have? Do I appreciate?
Well, let's go back to this. So it says Matthew 24:9. It says, so let me give you the backdrop. So the rumors of wars, the signs of the end, signs of Christ's return. All right. We got the rumors of wars, the nation against nation. All right. You shall hear verse 6. You shall hear you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass. But the end is not yet. All right, so the end is not yet. Verse 7. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. This is in red. This is the Lord Yahweh Shai speaking. What the world calls Jesus Christ, ignorantly and incorrectly calls him Jesus Christ. Excuse me. Salakia. It says, and there shall be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places, meaning different places. And all these are the beginning of sorrows. So these are the beginning of sorrows. Verse 9, here's the point. Then they shall deliver you up to be afflicted and shall kill you. So this is just what's happening now. This is the Matthew 24 fulfilling itself. Then they shall deliver you up to be afflicted and kill you. So this is not crazy. This is not nothing, anything. You could tell these people don't read their Bible, because if they did, they will understand that it has to come to pass. Matthew 24:9. The signs of Christ's return. It says, then they shall deliver you up to be afflicted and shall kill you. So being beheaded and killed for just, not even for the name of the Lord Yahweh Shai, but just learn anything with Christ, has to do with Christ, or anything that would do with Jesus. That's the principal thing. Like, if you have anything to do with Jesus, you're gonna get persecuted or you're gonna get killed. Regardless if it's in the name of Yahweh Shai, it all goes back to just Christ, right? Oh, you're a believer of Jesus. You believe in Jesus, even if we have the truth. Even if you die in the name of Jesus, people are killing you just because of the fact that that you follow Jesus, right? So it says, then they shall deliver you up to be afflicted and kill you, and you shall be hated for all nations for my name's sake. All right. So if people are dying in the name of Jesus, just imagine when the name Yahweh Shai gets exalted and we start talking about the true name of the Lord, then the persecution and the killings are going to go up. All right. Because we know Jesus, people are dying for that false idol. But when the name of Yahweh Shai gets exalted and it spreads, and the gospel spreads, man, the persecution that's going to be on the earth is going to be rampant. It says, and they shall be offended and shall betray one another and shall hate one another. It's going to be debates and arguments. All right. And many false prophets shall rise and shall deceive many, and because of iniquity shall bound, the love of many shall wax cold. All right. But he shall that endure to the end, the same shall be saved. All right. And the kingdom of the gospel of the kingdom, which is the gospel of Yahushua, shall be preached to all the world for a witness unto all nations. Then the end shall come. So this is fulfilling itself. So there's going to be persecution. The false prophets are going to rise. Then the sin is going to ramp. And then the gospel has to get preached. All right. So these are the things that must happen and must come to pass. All right. So, be prepared for persecution and suffering in the name of Yahushua. All right. Matter of fact, let me get that. It says, verse 28, and nothing terrified by your adversaries, which is to them an evident token of perdition. The word perdition, let's get that word. It means a state of internal punishment or damnation into which a sinful and unpenitent person passes after death. Hell, hellfire, damnation, doom, ruin, ruination, downfall. Alright, so, which to them are evident token of hell, but to you of salvation and that of God. Verse 9, for unto you it is given in the behalf of Christ, Yahushua, not only to believe on him, but also to suffer for his sake. Right, so you must suffer the afflictions for Yahushua's sake, for righteousness' sake. Right, because we suffered for wickedness, and we got rebuked for it. Right, so in the same token, it's righteous that we suffer for Yahushua's sake, for righteousness' sake, following him. All right, because our reward is in heaven. All right, so we're gonna suffer for Yahushua's sake. We're gonna take on sufferings, but suffering just means patience. Right, and if we are afflicted, all right, we suffer for his sake. The affliction, the pain, that's for that's for a little while, because we know we're in the end, so we don't have to suffer that much. Right, I'd rather suffer in the end than the beginning, because the end is the end. All right, it's like going in the fourth quarter, like the 12th round, and then you don't take punishment, or you don't start getting beat up until the 11th round, and then the 12th round is coming, and it's the last round, and you went through so much pain and affliction in the 11th round, but round 3, 4, 5, you didn't really go through that much affliction, but the opponent started fighting you at the 11th round. So this is the same thing with the Edomites and other nations. They're going to start afflicting us and putting harm on us, and persecuting us in this last 12th round. And we have to, Mayweather out, like dodge and weave, protect ourselves in this word and in Yahushua's name, and put on our spiritual armor. We have to, we have to endure. We know that there's only a few minutes on the clock left, as a metaphor. There's only a few minutes on the clock left, and you're going through the round, and you just endure. You strategically, you wisely fight. You wisely fight the fight, all right? Because you have to fight the fight of faith. You have to endure to the end, all right? So Matthew 24, that's Philippians 1. Matthew 24, it says, verse 13, but he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. So we're going to be saved by the bell once we endure to the end. And what is the end? The end is now. So all our job is to do is to endure now. You just have to endure into the end. No giving up. Why would you give up? Why would you? It's like throwing the towel in the 12th round. Why would you do that? You're already at the last round. You might as well go through it. You made it through 1 through 12. You might as well go through it. Why would you quit at the last minute? So don't quit. Don't give up. Let's endure this trial. Let's endure the sufferings together as a body of Yahushua, and through His grace, you get it. It's made sufficient for us. All right. Let's get that. I don't know if I'm spelling it right. First Corinthians 12:9. He said unto me, my grace is sufficient for thee, elect. When you see these, elect. For my strength is made perfect in weakness. Alright, so we feel weak because we're going through enduring. We feel weak and we're going through enduring. And we're going through trials and tribulations because it's going to get harder. It's going to get harder. And we have to endure hardship like a good soldier, but it's going to get harder. It's going to get tougher, but we have to endure. And it's okay to feel weak because when we are weak, His grace, the Lord Yahweh's grace is sufficient. My grace is sufficient for thee, He said. For my strength is made perfect in weakness. Mostly glad, therefore, will I rather glory. So, Salaki for that. My grace is sufficient for my strength is made perfect in weakness. Mostly gladly, therefore, I will rather glory in my infirmities, weaknesses, that the power of Christ may rest upon me. All right. Therefore, I would pleasure in infirmities and reproaches and necessities and persecutions. You see? And distress for Christ's sake. For when I am weak, then I am strong. You see? So when we are weak, we are strong in Yahushua. All right. So it's all good. So this persecution is coming. We're going to be feeling weak, but we're also strong in His grace. So with that being said, I want to say shalom and catch you in the next one.